the hidden wealth secret of the 1%. Welcome to the foundation.com. I am Sot L, seeker of truth L, speaker of truth L. This is not current events. This is our show we do every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. Oh, it's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. Sorry about that. But we're going to get into this. This right here, I really debated on whether or not I was going to do this episode. I really did. I didn't. This is actually really last minute because I was going to do something else. But I think this is something that needs to be put out there just so that we are able to have more choices available. Let me just put it like that. All right. I don't know. I have to figure out how to say it. This right here is really under the radar. This is private. And when I say private, I mean the structure is private, but also, there are SEC rules with regards to this information. And I'm going to tiptoe around it as much as I can while actually giving substance, which means I'm going to talk a lot. I pancake toes. I'm stepping on toes. I don't have time to play. There's a lot of things going on in this world. And, we need to really, really, really know what's going on. So let's jump into this. First and foremost, though, please check out welcometothefoundation.com. Sign up for the email list. But I want to start off by saying this. Look, Bill Gates pledges to donate virtually all of 113 billion fortune to his foundation. Okay? And I'm sure you've seen this. Actually, I'm not sure you've seen this, but this is very, very typical that really wealthy individuals will donate all of their money to their own charity, their own private family foundation. Think Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation, Carnegie Foundations. There's a lot of different family foundations. There's a lot. And a lot of people think that you have to be wealthy to have a foundation. You actually don't. Over, I would say, 90% of foundations, it's more than 90%. I don't know the exact number, but over 90% of private family foundations have net assets worth less than $1 million. So I want to say that off top, right? Now, why is he giving his money to his foundation? Well, he's looking for legacy, 100%. And with that money, not only does he get tax breaks, not only does he avoid a lot of his money going through probate, and, listen, I'm saying a lot, but pay attention to what I'm saying, please, because, unfortunately, I've come to the understanding that, when I speak in such a nonchalant manner, that a lot of things tend to, get lost in the translation, right? But I'm being very, very specific. This is not a game. This is something that if you can grasp this and the importance of this and utilize this information for you and your family, it will drastically change the quality of your life and the life of your family, period. And this is part of, the mission here at the foundation to reestablish the education with regards to doing business, interfacing with the public, doing business, period. Whether that means you are selling your labor to an employer, you are selling a good or service on the market, or you are purchasing a good or service on the market. From the auspices or standpoint of a consumer, or more specifically, a person, single, personal, individual, or a family, an entire family. Okay? So they will be able to, from that foundation, he's going to avoid all of his fortune is going to avoid probate, period, 100%. And with that fortune, he's going to take a charitable deduction, so he's going to get deductions, and those funds can be utilized for other purposes. Now, case in point. Now, please follow with me, y'all. Hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin donates $300 million to Harvard, bolstering his spot among America's biggest givers. Like I said, this is not current events. This is me just showing you real world examples of how this works and breaking it down. piece by piece as to what is going on and why. Okay, so this guy donated $300 million to Harvard's Faculty in Sciences, the university announced. As a result, the university is naming the Graduate School of Arts for Griffin. So they're going to put his name on it. His family name, legacy. Legacy and investment, y'all. Okay? So I'm going to explain this. And this is part of that SEC regulated information. You got to look at this. The $30 million club. I can break this down. You have to have $10 million in assets. You have to have a business that makes $10 million a year. And you have to have $10 million in free investment capital. And when you meet those requirements, you are able to receive information that is not taught in the public. $10 million in assets, $10 million that your business makes a year, and $10 million in free investment capital. Obviously, this guy fits the bill. He knows this information and more. Please believe. This stuff is kindergarten to him. So they're going to legacy. His name's going to every student that walks through those doors is going to see this man's family name. That's going to be very, very powerful for his heirs. It's going to be something that his family is going to be proud of. My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. This changes. It really, like, if you think about it, it really changes the trajectory of the culture of your family. It's very powerful. Not only that, let me break this down. As I said, the $30 million club info, right? Okay, so pancake and toast. Let me take a deep breath because y'all don't understand I'm putting my neck on the line right now. So listen, you have hospitals, universities, and colleges. They are what is known as legacy institutions. Now, I just made that term up because listen, I'm not gonna say everything, right? I can't, but these are institutions that aren't going anywhere. Now, there are other institutions that fit that bill as well. Primarily, it's charities. People are always going to need help. It's banking. People are going to always need loans. And it's education. People are always going to want education. Okay? And the last one is healthcare. People are always going to need healthcare. These are legacy industries. They're not going anywhere. And because they're legacy industries, right? Specifically hospitals, universities, and colleges, right? These types of structures, these entities, colleges, hospitals, universities, they have access to, I won't say the name of the account, PP accounts, right? That's as far as I'm sorry, but these accounts, they generate legendary amounts of interest, crazy amounts of interest, 25%, 40%, 50%, 60% interest on these deposits, right? And the reason why is because the bank knows that once this deposit is made by this specific institution, it will never be withdrawn because this type of deposit is in conjunction with what is known as an endowment. An endowment is really a contract that is negotiated between the university or hospital and the donor. In this case, it was this guy's private family foundation. I'm betting money he did this through his foundation. There's no way he didn't. So he or a representative of his private family foundation sat down with Harvard and they negotiated the contract, the endowment contract. Y'all do some research. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm crazy. I'm just some dude on the internet crazy. But these endowments, they're called endowments. They sat down, they negotiated the contract. In endowments, when you make an endowment, they are tax deductible. Remember that. But they negotiated the contract and they negotiated the interest split on the contract. So the The Harvard took that money, deposited in this special PP account. All right. And the interest off of that that's being paid off that deposit is being split between Harvard and this guy Griffin's family foundation. And because it's a family foundation and it is tax exempt, that interest is coming to the foundation tax free. And because Harvard is a legacy institution, that is how the wealthy set up their money, their wealth in perpetuity. That interest payment that his family foundation receives will be perpetual. How old is Harvard? And you can look this up. Harvard makes enough money off of its endowments to pay the tuition of all of its students. All of them. Every single one of them. Isn't that crazy? But it's true. It's absolutely true. So what is a private family foundation? Let me go to this. This is IRS red flags for family foundations. I found this on Investopedia. You can look this up by Carla Tardy. Carla Tardy. Let's go down here to what is a private family foundation. A private family foundation is a charitable organization set up and controlled by a family to promote specific philanthropic causes. It is funded by an endowment which is invested to generate operating funds. You understand? That was the endowment. It's funded by an endowment which is invested to generate operating funds. That initial endowment would be the initial funding of the foundation, the grantor, like whatever the grantor funded it with. Now, it can be fun. It's continually funded. We're just talking about the initial funding, but it's invested in 9 times out of, I would say 7 times out of 10, those investments revolve around endowments. Can a private family foundation employ family? Yes. However, their compensation must not be excessive. You understand? What we got here? Benefits. Because family members retain control of the foundation, there is sustained continuity of charitable giving. The foundation can receive tax-deductible contributions from third parties that can fund the program beyond the family's own contributions. A third party is also one of the family members. It's also the family members. Managing the foundation can unite family members while instilling in them a spirit of community service. Having a family member act as administrator keeps management responsibilities within the family and administrative costs low. It's private. Because it's a private structure, you can administer it yourself. The family members themselves administer it. Now, part of the operating expenses, which are counted towards the 5% expenditure, is, any consultation needed to assist in operating. Like if you want to, on behalf of the foundation, contract and a consultant, possibly a contract attorney or something of that nature that would help and assist, the initial administration or ongoing administration. You can do that too, but you don't have to. You don't have to. The foundation creates a visible and lasting public legacy for the family. Public legacy. You understand? Private legacy is your private family trust. That's the trustee training. Establishing a family foundation is less expensive and requires a smaller endowment than many people think. Over 90% of foundations have less than $1 million in assets. You got conflicts of interest, potential stumbling blocks. Let me jump in here. What do we got? We got the benefits, stumbling blocks. One of the greatest difficulties in managing a family foundation might be trying to unravel the complicated rules that the Internal Revenue Service sets for them. Not being aware of the rules can get you into deep trouble. You want to avoid self-dealing. You see this, self-dealing and disqualified persons. Hiring family members, disqualified persons. You can do that. It must be deemed reasonable and necessary to the foundation's purpose. You can offer compensation, selling and leasing. These are things that, could be sticky. Bringing disqualified persons on a trip for foundation business and having the foundation pay for their travel costs is generally an act of self-dealing. Right? So also, you have family retreats every year. The board of trustees, and I'll just say it, I'm dropping jewel. Here's a jewel. The board of trustees, pancake a toe. I'll just pancake like 4 toes. Watch, here we go. The board of trustees and the junior board are allowed to, the junior board of trustees are allowed to participate in the family treat once a year. 100% travel, food, lodging, activities, and then some administration duties anywhere in the world. Our last family retreat for our foundation, we went to the Cayman Islands. The one before that, we went to the Bahamas. So, there's that. And then you have site visits. Site visits. Let's get into charitable purposes. Charitable purposes. These are the charitable purposes. Relief of the poor. This is according to the IRS. You can look this up. This is the IRS website. You can see where I'm at. Relief of the poor, the distressed, or the underprivileged. Advancement of religion. Advancement of education or science. Erection and maintenance of public buildings, monuments, or works. Lessening the burdens of government. Lessening neighborhood tensions. Eliminating prejudice and discrimination. Defending human and civil rights secured by law. And combating community deterioration and juvenile delinquency. These are all charitable purposes. So let's say, for example, we're talking about site visits. Your charitable purpose includes education and or science, right? And let's say maybe the board is contemplating offering a grant to SeaWorld. This is just an example. For science, maybe they have science programs. They have educational programs at SeaWorld. You learn about the animals. So a site visit would be, the board traveling to SeaWorld, meeting with them, going around, talking to them, saying, hey, we're thinking about offering a grant. Could you tell us more about your educational or science with regards to these animals? And how do you educate? And how are you promoting the advancement of science with regards to these animals, or something like that? They would love to. They're going to give you a tour. Going to tell you all about it, give you pamphlets and all that other stuff. And what you do is, you leave. You tell them, we're going to bring this back. We're going to meet as a board. We're going to determine whether or not we're going to offer you a grant. We appreciate your hospitality. You enjoy yourself. Now, whether or not you offer a grant to SeaWorld, that trip is completely expensed by the foundation, as are family retreats. Do you see what I'm saying? You guys understand oh my goodness, you guys understand what I'm saying? Limitations on deductions. The 50% limitation applies to public charities. Look at this. 30% limitation applies to private foundations. Private foundations. Qualified organizations include a trust or foundation. You understand what you guys get where I'm going? 30%. 30% limit applies to private foundations. So individuals, contributions to certain private foundations are limited to 30% of the adjusted gross income computed with regard to net operating loss carrybacks. 30%. So, for example, let me just say this real quick. Please listen to me. Let's say a person makes $100,000 and their family has a private family foundation, right? And let's say they donate they make $100,000. They donate $30,000 to their own private family foundation. It reduces their taxable income. They take a charitable deduction because it's a charity. And then what's the difference of tax brackets between $100,000 and $70,000? Y'all should look that up. And then they go on a site visit and then a family retreat. So like, let's say they went on a site visit to SeaWorld and a family retreat to Barbados. with the legacy component, with the perpetual wealth component, and with the family unifying component of site visits and family retreats. This is a very, 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 very powerful structure. Now you understand why the wealthy use this, and hopefully understand how they're using it in a minimized way, in the most way that I can tell you in a public forum. Now, with regards to these foundations, they, are not spoken about. This, I trust that, you've learned something today that, you didn't know before. And you understand the power behind these structures, private family foundations. Now, when it comes to us here at the foundation, we focus on the re-establishment with regards to the foundation of knowledge and information, specifically related to doing business, right? But at the end of the day, we're talking about private structures, and we're talking about ultimately private trust. And, a private family foundation is a private trust with a charitable purpose, being very specific. And the public is the beneficiary. Very, very serious. Now, there are other things that go along with that. And to be clear, unless you have been through trustee training here at the foundation, or unless you can demonstrate the equivalent knowledge that you would have received here at trustee training, like you did your own private education, we can't talk about private family foundations. We can't. You need to know how to administer trust. And this is why trust is so important. And I'm not talking about public trust. I'm not talking about statutory trust. I'm talking about private trust. 100% private trust. So link in the description. Are you ready to go private? If you're looking to learn how to administer private trust, if you're looking to establish your private estate, you want to get into this training. Fully automated. It's at your own pace. You learn at your own pace. There's no tests. It's not like that. It's not like that. Link in the description to sign up. It is one of the most affordable offers we've ever offered for trustee training. And this is private trust administration. Operation, know-how, enforcement, all of it. Case law, all of it. If you're interested, link in the description. Because, this stuff is real 1% information. You can't obtain 1% wealth without the 1% information. The universe is mental. Everything begins in the mind. So unless you know, you can't do. So, admin at welcometothefoundation.com if you have any questions. But, trustee training, this is it. And, this is most comprehensive trust administration education that I've ever seen in the public. I created what I wish was available when I figured this stuff out. I wasted a lot of money with a lot of fake gurus, a lot of flights, a lot of time. And this is powerful, and this is about family. I don't play with family. If you're about your family, I respect you off top. As I said, the public is all about the individual. The private is all about the family. If you want to start a business, I suggest you do. A lot of layoffs. $20. It's an extensive course. It's worth way more than that. I keep forgetting to raise up the price. We will shortly. We have invitation only to our private side of welcometothefoundation.com. Free account. You're going to get access to the free course, the history on the public education system. And if you check that out, you'll see foundations in there as well. These things are not new. They're very old. Contracts that are, administered as trusts are very old. And That free course is available to you. Admin at welcometothefoundation.com. If you would like an invitation, make sure you confirm your invitation. If you don't, that it will be deleted. The system just deletes them. We have the Foundation magazine. We are currently on Cybersecurity Volume 2. It's being shipped as I speak. Check your mailboxes. We have the digital edition. We also have a print edition, believe it or not. We do print. Old schoolery. And we're doing it all for you. Make sure you sign up for the email list. Sign up for that dance right there. Do your dance. Please subscribe. If you have not subscribed, hit the like button if you learned something, please. That's all you got to do. Just hit the like button. That's it. Share this with someone if you think it's appropriate. If not, do your dance. Maybe this is just for you. But, if you, really want to, get down to the nitty gritty and you're maybe not sure yet, I would suggest go to welcometothefoundation.com. Go ahead, scroll down here to book a consultation right here. Put your name in, your email. It'll put you in the queue. Take care of the invoice, $55 an hour. And then, we usually go over the hour. I don't, it happens. So there's that. Y'all have an opportunity in front of you to, learn this 1% information. And, it would be an absolute honor to, assist in your private education and, the establishment of your legacy. So I trust you learned something, and I look forward to assisting you in your transition. Here at the Foundation, we don't care how much you made. It's how much you kept. How much do you keep? I don't care how much you make. How much do you keep? And that's really important because it's all about what comes after us. For me, it's about the family, and it's about the children. It's about the next generation and the generation after that. And if you agree, if you're with that, then you belong here at the Foundation. I trust y'all enjoyed yourself and you learned something. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow on current events. Peace.